this panel here the terrible disservice they're doing to the children here. But I'm going to do my very best. I could take up all my time refuting all the lies that you were just told. But I'm going to go ahead with this PowerPoint presentation, and hopefully you will see the truth as it goes along. I do want to thank the parents that came out here. I see plenty of parents. I see alumni parents. I see the alumni here. Thank all the staff who were so helpful in showing their support in creating this presentation and helping me all through here. So I thank you very much. I'm disgusted that some of them were threatened with coming to speak out against this panel, where they were told maybe their jobs would be in jeopardy or they would be blacklisted in schools when they want them. You know, it disgusts me that we just took off one day to celebrate the birth of Martin Luther King, and here we are in 2011 trying to stifle educators' right to speak and advocate on behalf of the children. So I'm disappointed in that. But now let's move on. You know, let me just say this right from the jump, instead of wasting a lot of time. When the superintendent came to speak to our staff, and they gave all these stats that he just read out to the city, you know, I don't make excuses for our Black and Latino boys, but the stats are what it is. And we know that our boys suffer in every negative category. They're leading it in every positive category. They're falling last. You know, all we wanted to do was compare apples with apples. All that we asked is please give us the stats for what New York City is doing for Black and Latino males and compare us to that. All right, I've been teaching for 18 years. Both my parents are public school teachers. I would never want to disservice the children. I hate the implication that I would do otherwise. If it is true that New York City is doing a better job educating Black and Latino males than our school is, then I'm all for it. Shut it down and let's move on and do what's best for the children. But if it's not true, and I'm going to show you some stats that he did not read today, if it is true that even despite all that's going on, we're still doing a better job here at UAAHC than the city is doing with Black and Latino males, and we want the help and support to continue what we're doing. We don't want to be shut down. You know, our co-founder, he had a family emergency, so he was going to come up here and give the rationale on why it's so important that these schools exist. But, you know, when he comes, hopefully he'll get that chance to speak. But I'm pretty sure that people already know. You know, I was thinking about a movie. I like to tell stories. Those in my class know that. You know, Boys in the Hood. You may want to check that movie out if you haven't seen it. But at the end of Boys in the Hood, a character that Ice Cube played, let's get past all the violence and stuff, but Ice Cube played a character at the end of the movie. His brother was murdered. You know, his brother just received a scholarship for college. And Ice Cube was talking to one of his other friends, Trey, and he tells him, I was watching the news last night, and there was nothing on about my brother. And so then he comments, either they don't know, they want to show, or don't care what happens in the hood. And it's a very profound statement when you think about it. Is it true? So I'm really confused when I listened to the superintendent, deputy chancellor, and Chancellor Hurst speak last night. Do they don't know the plight of Black and Latino males in the city? Do they just don't want to show and tell the truth about the plight of Black and Latino males in the city? Or do they don't care about the plight of Black and Latino males in the city? But I will give them the information now, so they'll never be able to say they don't know. And let's see what they do about it. You know, there's a problem in this country that's not being talked about. And it seems like, you know, I don't want to be accused of playing a race card, so to say. But for some reason, we people want to stay away from this talk of race and just say we want to love all children. But I've learned from teaching 18 years that loving all children is meeting them where they are and trying to take them to where they need to be. It's not putting them in this one big bunch and saying, this is the percentage of the city, and you don't meet that, so you close down. It's looking at individual situations, looking at individual groups of people, and making sure all people succeed. You know, I was blessed last year. My wife gave birth to my second daughter back on June 5th. It's another story, by the way. I'll try to be quick. But one thing, you know, it was a difficult pregnancy, but as she was going through certain pains, as a man that my father taught me, I never tried to tell a woman how she should feel or what she should feel. I just help, support, and listen. See, it's easy for men, we understand that we don't go through the same exact things that women do. So we would be foolish to sit there and try to tell a woman how she should feel about her body. Now I find that's such a simple thing to do with gender. It's such a difficult thing to do with race. I don't know why there's so much pushback and why so many people from outside the Black and Latino community feel they have to come and tell people in the Black and Latino community how to educate their children. Why don't they really just say that? Put the arrogance aside and just listen. All right, our school, this history of failure, I'm not sure where that stat came from, because 2 years ago it was a B school, and I'm showing you stats here. But if you would listen to what's going on here and show us the help and support, we can show you the best way to educate Black and Latino children. We don't need people from outside of the community telling us what's best. We appreciate the help, we love the support, but it's an insult when people think they can do a better job than the people who give birth to these children. Now, the DOB has done a masterful job highlighting the worst our school has to offer. So I'm going to run through some of the positive things that they left out. Let me run through this quickly because my time is going to be short. Most of the students here can reflect some of these things here. Culture is a big part of this. So from our mantra that we're going to end my presentation with, so I hope the students remember, from our men's conference to our U Up Abroad program. Matter of fact, we're going to Egypt this year. I'm excited about that. We've been to Japan and Costa Rica. From the constant town hall meetings to the celebrations we have, our Kwanzaa dinner. Thank you for all the parents for the good food. I love those feasts. I will miss them. And mentoring program. We have academics, because for some reason I was also consulted by people from our support network implying that the things we do culturally makes the children suffer academically. So I wanted to put all of this up here. And I'll hand these out if anyone wants to see the different courses of study that our children study while they're here. You know, along academic note, our college advisor couldn't be here tonight, but he gave me some statistics, information on the amount of scholarships that our boys earn. Some of our guys here from the class of 2009, where's 2009, that's someone who's here. That class, in our small little school, only 30-something people in their graduating class. If you count the 4-year scholarship, it was over $1 million in scholarships. Failures for our school. You know, in the class of 2010 that just came last year, they were over $400,000 per scholarship. Both years, we've had students receive the Posse Scholarship, a $100,000 scholarship. This year is Ray Vaughn Williams. We have Ray Vaughn. Stand up. $100,000 scholarship. Please ask the other 5 schools about their Posse scholars. I'm not trying to compare, but if you're going to put it out there, let's put it all out here. Citizenship is a main part of our school here. So we talk about all of these things. I'd gladly like to go through each of these, but I was told I'd keep my time as short as possible. So we definitely want to share the College Now piece, the mentoring piece, the organization that partnered with us in the work that we've done here. So all of this, the Museum of Modern Art Team Program. So we love to share all this information with people. I wish I had the time. And it's just an insult that they hit even all this negative information. And you see, we have pages and pages of positive things that are being done in our school. All right, let's get to some of the real things. So you heard these percentages of how bad we are. So let's see where New York State ranks and where New York City ranks in educating your sons, parents, the Black and Latino males. Here, this is from the SHOT report. What's up there is small, so I'll read it and help you. This is the 10 worst performing states for Black males. At the very bottom of the list, the absolute worst state in all of the United States of America is New York. That blue thing right there is 25%. That's what they're educating in New York State. This is for Black males. So they're only educating 1 out of 4. So the sense that they're giving, I just want to keep you in mind that they're doing a better job than the city is. If they're going to close us down, maybe they should start with revamping themselves. This is the 10 worst performing large districts in Black males. So if you look down here, look over to the left, New York City ranks in one of the worst 10 performing districts in educating Black males. They want to blame a whole lot of people. The blue line, the blue bar that's for Black males is at 28% of those that can. That's what New York City is doing. See, I wish I had time to give a math lesson. I'm a math teacher. But I know exactly what's going on. And they're trying to play games with us because everybody doesn't know the percentages. When you put all these Black and Latino males together, even though you can do some great things, and we're far above these numbers, you can still say, well, they're not doing better as a city overall. They failed to tell you that the percentages they read includes girls. All girls in the city, girls are graduating at a higher rate than guys are. It included white and Asian students who are graduating at a higher rate than black and Latino students are. They don't tell you that part of the percentage. This is what I want you to know. If you ask any question, the parents are trying to ask, demand that this superintendent, your deputy chancellor, tell you what are the exact numbers towards black and Latino males. That's all we want to be compared to. It's apples and apples. Just tell us the truth. If they can do a better job educating black and Latino males than we can do it at school, hey, I will bow out and I'll be the first to admit when I'm wrong. But don't sit there and let them give you stats that include an entire city that's predominantly females. Some of the schools they mentioned here in this building, most of the classes are filled with females, and say we compared it with that, and so now the schools are failing. So here we go. Here's the United States of America. 42% black male graduation rate. 47%. Thank you, good looking at. Here's New York State and New York City. Now this is one of the things that all of our students can tell you about, and all of our staff can tell you about, that I've been happy about this school than any other school I've worked in, is the amount of reflection we try to do to become better. Even our detention room is called the transformation room. I would like, maybe New York City can learn something from that, reflect upon themselves. Maybe they can look at and see their dismal job in working with black males and reflect upon themselves of what they can do better. Instead of just trying to hide them, throw them in the back of classrooms, put them in other bigger schools, and so we don't even have to notice them or deal with them, and just say, oh, our percentage rate is good for the city, so we're doing well. This is what we're doing here at UAAHC. This is what we want to be compared to. All right, over the past 3 years, we're averaging right at 51%. I think it's 56%, 55%, and then you mentioned this past year at 43%. I'll do the average for you. It's 51% here. We're doing twice as good as New York City is educating these black males. We'll add in the stats for Latino males, but you'd be surprised at how difficult this information is to get. Why don't they want to share this information? Well, you can see why. Because they're doing such a poor job at it. And they don't want to admit this because they're going to have to explain to people what they're going to do to address this situation instead of shutting down 28 schools. I'm sorry I'm fired up. I think Devin Dixon's father said it well last time that, it's not aggression. I don't mean any disrespect, but we are passionate about our children. And I know they're just numbers to you, so the feeling's a little bit different. But I just have to let the truth be known. Because it's a much more serious thing. As I came across these stats, and when you look at New York City, where over 70% of the black males are not graduating high school, this dropout rate is attached to a lot of other figures that are quite disturbing. Students who are not graduating high school have higher unemployment, as you may have guessed. Students who are not graduating high school have a higher poverty rate, and they have a higher incarceration rate. And I even found, you may not know this, that less education is even connected to a higher death rate than people dying. So, my question is, for all these questions is, if it is true, and please check these numbers and tell me if I'm false, that New York City is doing such a poor job, and you want to close out school and put our students back in a situation where they're graduating at only a 28% graduation rate. I just want to know why the DOE wants these black children to have a higher unemployment rate. Because that's essentially what you're saying. When you put them in a school that's going to graduate them at a lesser rate than what they are now. Why do they want black and Latino males to have this higher incarceration rate? Why do you want black and Latino males to have this higher death rate? Why aren't you looking at examples where they're being successful and improve those instead of trying to hide them in the school system that's serving them so poorly? Another thing that they're not mentioning when they compare us to other schools is some schools are screen schools. Now we're not. Now, for those that are familiar with the terminology, screen schools, they're schools, including one in this building, where they don't accept all students. So we accept all children.